Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of The Extra Point, the Bonnie and Clyde edition, the his and hers edition. You got your boy, Mr. P.L. Culture, with his ride or die, Miss Tasha T. Sizzle in the house. How you doing today, Bucky?
I'm good. I just had to do a little rushing to get here to the show today, but all is well.
Hey, she's like the mailman. Rain, sleet, snow, bridges, Dominican Republic, coffee houses,
Whorehouse.
whorehouses. Make sure y'all go back and find that YouTube video. That was a classic. Now, we all know that today is wild card weekend finally. What happened to the NFL season? It seemed like it came and went in a flash. But, well, for some of us, not all of us, but we'll get into that as the show goes on. But before we break down any of this weekend's action, Tasha, please, a word from our sponsor.
We are sponsored by May Jane's Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. Again, guys, due to her supplier, we're not able to supply you with that great May Jane's coffee, but we do appreciate you guys who did purchase for us. And don't worry, May Jane's Coffee is not closed. We just really?
Sorry.
Really? Let me clear my throat.
But
once May Jane's Coffee is up and running again, you will be the first to know. We will let you know on the show. So again, those
let you know on the show.
Yes, those of you who have purchased, thank you so much. And once again, once it's up and running, we'll let you know.
We will let you know right here on the Extra Point. We also want to send a shout out to our other sponsor, Wolverine Comics TX. If you want to buy, sell, trade any of your comic books, make sure you reach out to Mr. Michael Hasso. That's JASSO on Instagram, Wolverine Comics TX. We thank you for your sponsorship as well. Good morning to you, Miss Taylor. We got a lot to talk about today. Hopefully you can learn a nugget or two. Now, Tasha, we coming in hot. We're going to start the show off. We're going to go in chronological order of this weekend's games, which means the first one up, the first entree on the menu, the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, okay, there she is. What do y'all call yourself, gold-blooded? All right.
We let the Golden State Warriors use our gold-blooded. We are #faithful.
Oh, okay. And you see her wrapped in swaddling clothes and laying in her manger with her faithful red on. Now, the San Francisco 49ers, let's just keep it real. Like we always have a saying here at the Extra Point, when you're in the booth, you got to tell the truth. And the truth of the matter is there's no team hotter in the NFL right now than the San Francisco 49ers. Check out this stat, T-Sizzle. I'm sure you know this, but let me share this with the people. The 49ers are winners of 10 straight by an average margin of victory of 16 points a game. Now, that's something you reserve for a powerhouse SEC school that's plowing through their conference. Nothing that you ever see in the NFL. 10 straight games, over 16 points a game, and you're doing it with your third-string quarterback. Now, they're in a matchup with their division rival, the Seattle Seahawks. They are a 9-point favorite. Tasha, is there any way that your team does not advance to the division round?
Yes. You surprised?
Hey, coming in hot. Let me sit back and listen to this. All right, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, again, this is a rubber match. They've played each other on each other's home field, and then this is the third time they're going to meet. So it's considered a rubber match. I don't put anything past any team that showed the fortitude and the fight that the Seahawks did. People keep saying, oh, the 49ers don't have a weakness. And yeah, we do. Sometimes we tend not to be consistent at quarterback play. Now, I'm not here to go on the Brock Purdy because I think he sure is Purdy. But him being a rookie, being on this stage, sometimes you never know how people are going to react when they're on stages like this. So I am a little nervous about the quarterback play, which is always, when I tell you guys, ever since Steve Young left, my main concern has pretty much been the quarterback. Jeff Garcia, okay, yeah, he was good. He did. This is actually the anniversary of him throwing that touchdown to T.O.
The catch part 2.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's always been kind of shaky for me at quarterback. I do believe Purdy is a viable option, but I'm a little nervous, to be honest, because it's like every time it's like with that fishing rod, you almost there, you almost think you got it, didn't you? And then it's there, then we don't have it.
That is the beauty of having one of your teams that you really ride for in the playoffs. There's a little part of you that always goes back to history when it was this close, or a play here or a play there. And we've certainly seen that with a talented 49ers team over the last few years. Now, I got some nerd stats to back up why you are concerned. And it's quite awesome that you led me right into this, because you had no idea that I was about to say this. There have been 25 instances in NFL history since the Super Bowl era where a team has played an opponent for the third time after sweeping them during the regular season. You know what those sweeping teams are in that third game, that rubber match? They're 14-10. So things you sometimes go wrong, just a little bit over 500 in that case. So Seattle, let's not write them off completely good. I looked down at that picture, was like, that ain't my sister.
Stand up. If you know, you know.
Who that?
Avatar, you know.
Okay. Now, let's talk about Seattle for just a second, T-Sizzle. Think about how good it is to be a Seattle Seahawks fan. You trade away Russell Wilson. You get a boatload of picks. You promote, oh my God, help me out here.
Geno Smith.
Geno. You promote Geno Smith, the quarterback, and he breaks Russell Wilson's record for passing yards in a season. Oh, and if you're Seattle, you get the best of both worlds here. Do you trust Geno in a high-stakes game of this magnitude? We know you got concerns about San Francisco's QB play. What about Geno? Because nobody runs on the 49ers.
I trust Geno. I do. That guy got a, I hate Steph. I think he got a bad hand, even from draft day. You know how they did him. He was like a second day draft pick. I'm amongst the belief if you give someone an opportunity to actually shine, put them in the right environment, they can shine, and he has shown that. Even throughout his past seasons, he's had a little spurt there, a spurt here, and we're always quick to write him off. But look at what he had around him. He ain't never had no DK Metcalf.
No, or Tyler Lockett. Right. He does have some weapons. And I'm glad you said giving someone an opportunity and watch them shine, because T-Sizzle did the same thing. Nobody knew she was pumping me information on the radio show via text. And then when it's time for her to show her face on there, she took it and ran with it through the tape. All right. Now, it's going to be rainy, wet, and windy in San Francisco this afternoon, 3:30 on Fox, for you people that's looking to catch that game. The 49ers have been dominant on the ground. Christian McCaffrey has been remarkably healthy since coming to the Bay Area. Is that the formula for today? Would you rather have the run game take care of it instead of Brock Purdy?
I mean, it's not necessarily that, because you're going to – and it's funny how – let me go back. It's funny how teams know what you're going to do, but they still can't stop you.
Right.
But I also think they're going to have to throw it sometimes too. We still got Debo out there, who was the basic as you athlete. How they list them.
Right.
But Run CMC, sometimes he'll pull up lane. He's never been on the stage like this either.
Great point. He's never had a supporting cast like this, and we don't know if he's a big game hunter because we've never seen him at least be on a team this talented. This is one of the most talented teams in the last few years in the NFL when you consider offense, defense, and special teams. So, Tasha, go ahead and put it out there. Who wins this first wild card matchup of the weekend?
Oh, the 49ers.
They cover?
Whether I believe it or not, it's always going to be #faithful, #49er, we long gold-blooded to the Golden State Warriors.
Right, and if you're Seattle, you've had a remarkable season, a season that nobody predicted for you to have. So bowing out this weekend is not an indictment on Geno, on Coach Carroll, on DK Metcalf, or that defense. I think that you overachieved this year. You just had a hell of a draw for your first game in San Francisco. All right, let's move on to the Saturday night game, which intrigues me. First of all, before we say anything, I want to give a congratulations to the AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars. You somehow squeaked your greasy ass through the hole and got into the playoffs. But truth be told, as we look back today with a week to get away from the game, you were the more deserving team to be in the playoffs today. You will give a much better fight today than Tennessee would have done against the Chargers. And I'm still going to watch this game because we have two young, exciting quarterbacks that I want to talk to you about, Tasha. Now, we have Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville. We have Justin Herbert for the Chargers making their playoff debut. If you had to choose one today, who would you rather build your franchise around, Herbert or Lawrence?
Ooh, this is gonna make Mike mad. Duval, you know where I'm going with this.
I hate when you say that, Paul. Get through this. Duval has been haunting me for weeks. She's been telling me for like 6 weeks that we weren't going to win that game against Duval last weekend. So now that it's finally come and gone, I hate her, although I love her, but I'm so sick of hearing Duval. Go ahead, Tasha.
I mean, Justin Herbert is he turned out to be a lot better than we thought, given the fact that he really was not playing until they tried to kill Tyrod Taylor.
Right. Literally.
I just think I would rather, because you think, what? Oh God, what's Sunshine's name?
Lawrence.
Huh?
Trevor Lawrence. Sunshine.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence had a bad hand dealt to him in that first season.
Right, especially with the coaching situation.
He was coached by Urban Meyer. And let me digress for a minute. How is it Urban Meyer got caught up in all that mess at FIU, all this mess in the NFL, but still go back and get his job at Fox, but they don't want to give Reggie Bush his Heisman back? Yeah, they did.
Although he did make the Hall of Fame this week.
He did make the College Hall of Fame, but they gonna take his Heisman and just try to beat him down. But then you're gonna get Urban Meyer back and just put him back on set like he ain't never left. But I digress. But the thing is, Trevor Lawrence, like most quarterbacks, he's a situational quarterback. Everything was handed to him at Clemson. The offense was catered around him at Clemson.
That's correct.
This is what Jacksonville is going to need to do in order for that franchise. Khan is going to have to make sure he pipes some of that money he's got into that franchise. You're going to have to put pieces around Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Herbert has some pieces. Trevor Lawrence really ain't got none.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, Tasha, because you're in your bag today and you're in my mind, because the next question was, whose supporting cast do you trust more today? So that's obviously going to be the Chargers then, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So this is something that I want you all to pay attention to when you watch tonight's game. There's playmakers all over the field, at least according to the nerd stats. Now, the Chargers are the first team in NFL history to have 6 players with at least 500 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns, to Tasha's point. Weapons galore. Now, Jacksonville is one of 2 teams this year to have at least 3 players with 70 catches, one being their running back, Travis Etienne. Who do you think will shine the most today? Do you think it's going to be, there's no Mike Williams, obviously, so that's one 500-yard receiver gone. Yeah. Do you think that they can match points with the Chargers today, Jacksonville?
I mean, I think they can. The Chargers are missing a lot of pieces.
They are really banged up.
But even with them in, my pick was going to be Jacksonville. I got
really?
Jacksonville. Yeah. I got Jacksonville for the upset. Even though they're the home team, I got them for the upset.
And I was surprised that they are the underdog, considering they won 5 in a row. They beat the Titans. They beat the Cowboys. They looked impressive. No, you're not giving them no. Remind me of the Chargers record this season.
Let me pull it up. Mel, really? Mike ain't here.
Right, that's Mike's job. All right. But while you're looking that up and we say good morning to Mama Hastings, one of the things that really caught my eye about this matchup was wide receiver Mike Williams. Now, we all know that the Chargers coach last year should have been fired for malpractice the way his team didn't make the playoffs. Last week, you played Mike Williams in a game that didn't matter because you were already in the playoffs. He fractures his damn back. He's out for the playoffs now. And that's a huge weapon that you're missing today. Should Coach Daly for the Chargers be on the hot seat if they lose this matchup because of that tonight?
No. I wouldn't put him on the hot seat. But I don't advise in a meaningless game putting. Why can't I pull this up? I mean, it's giving me everything but their damn record. Sorry, Mel. We'll get to you in a second.
What, Mama?
Hey, AP, Paul, pull it up really fast while I'm talking.
I got you. Go ahead with your thought.
You know, I can't do two things at once.
I got you.
I don't recommend anybody putting key players in. The Chargers' place was already solidified.
Right, it was.
And I understand you say, oh, they want to get the reps. It's not like it was Jalen Hurts where, you had to put Hurts in.
Because they had to fend off the 49ers.
Right. And then on top of that, he would have been out for almost over a month and then coming in cold trying to play. Even though he was hurt a little bit, it was good to get him out there the way they did. But when you don't have anything to play for, I'm not – rest your starters, but you shouldn't have had them in doing key moments. Let them in for a little bit and take them out, pretty much like the Bulldogs did over them Horned Frogs.
Oh, Marcus? Marcus, are you still here with us? We won't talk about that right now. The Chargers are 9-8, Melanie. So they're just a little bit over 500. Now, let's go to Sunday's game. We're going to start off at noon on CBS. We have the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Wait a minute, hold on. Daughter checking in saying, so you have the Chargers winning this game, Sizzle?
No, I said Jacksonville, where that booty at, whoop, that is.
We gonna digress. As a matter of fact, I got the Jaguars today too. I've never been a big fan of Justin Herbert. They don't have Mike Williams. Duval is playing at home. They have all the momentum. And quite frankly, Bella agrees with me. You have a Super Bowl winning coach on one side and a coach in his first playoff appearance on the other side. I'm going to go with the coaching on Jacksonville, and that's that. Now, Miami and Buffalo. Tasha, first of all, do you realize that all of these games this weekend are rematches? Buffalo and Miami is no different. Now, Buffalo swept the season series as well, but both games came down to 3 points or less. The big story of this, obviously, with Mr. Hamlin being home and in Buffalo and recuperating, the Miami Dolphins have ruled out Tua because he hasn't passed concussion protocol. Now, here's my question to you, Tasha, because you've been adamant about this all year. Should Tua call this a career? If you were in his inner circle, what would you be advising him?
Look, these concussions ain't nothing to play with. Now, right. I'm not wishing ill, and I'm not speaking this into the atmosphere on anybody. But don't be 30 years down the line, say our family. I'm sorry, Tungavaloa family, and wanting to sue the NFL because your son has CTE. That's all I'm saying. These concussions are not to be played with. And I think he is risking his life. Unless he's just trying to get to that fourth year where he can get that pension.
Now, that is a good point as well, because that could be the difference between life and death when you talk about medical care for players post-retirement. Because
I think they lowered only reason why I read it is because everything that happened with Damar Hamlin, how they lowered what players get for injuries when they're no longer playing.
Right.
So I don't know if he's just trying to make it to that, I think you have to play 4 years and a few games to get that pension. But at this point, dude, it's not worth it.
Right. You got $20 million guaranteed out of your rookie deal so far. That should be generational wealth enough for you. You just had a baby boy this season. 3 concussions in a matter of 2 months. I'm not so
you better get your wife out there to working, or either tell her to become an influencer. You better start selling baby photos. You better do something.
Or you better go ahead and get that pedicure and start your OnlyFans account. Like there's other ways to make that money. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, first of all, kudos to them for not throwing him out there because you want to win a playoff game. Because if they would have quote unquote cleared him, he would have played and got his bell rung again on the turf up there in Orchard Park. So it's going to be interesting to see how they attack that this offseason. There's always a name out there that we're going to get to him a little bit later that's already been rumored to want to go to Miami this offseason, and that's one Mr. Thomas Edward Brady. We'll get into that in just a bit. Now, this is I agree with you, Martrice. What'd you say? Time to tip your hat. Right. As you shuffle around the screen, we're gonna holler at you, and nobody is gonna judge your career, any worse than you actually produced. When you had weapons, you showed that you could be a viable quarterback. You proved that. You won a championship in college with Alabama. Go sit your ass down.
Oh, and Treese, my milk thing turned out all right. She know what that means.
Now, Justin, who's a Kansas City fan, is coming in hot with the Hawks
today. Always a hater somewhere. It's always bye, Justin. Thank you for your contribution, but bye.
He said I could be hey. Now, Tasha, let them know now, back in my band days, I used to cut a little bit of a rug a little bit. I cut a little bit of the rug. Now, I see you with your 49er faithful stuff on. Now, see, Justin, look at you starting the war in the comments. Thank you very much. Stick around, Justin, for my Super Bowl preview. I think you two may be interested in that. That is called a tease. You got Ray all fired up with his big game fishing. Right, we got 49ers fans not having that. Treese is a Seahawks fan. Y'all got me fired up to watch some football today.
And I think about you, Treese.
Treese, we're going to pull your string every time. Let's go, Hawks. Let's do it for my godson, Miles. She said, tat, boom, tat, tat. That's right. Yeah, your boy got a little rhythm. I can still, as I digress. Now, Sunday is a matchup that intrigues me because of something Tasha's been saying all year as well. And I want to see if it comes to fruition. We have the New York Giants taking on the 13-4 Minnesota Vikings, who, Tasha, you have said all year that they're selling wolf tickets. Are you not sold on Minnesota getting it done? They're a 3-point home favorite against the Giants. What are your thoughts?
Nope. Sorry, Granddaddy. That's Sasha's grandfather. He is a Minnesota Vikings fan. Nope. I'm not sold. They still selling wolf tickets.
They still selling wolf tickets. Now, the nerd stats, once again, kind of back you up. How in the hell do you go 13-4, but you have given up more points than you scored this season? I don't think I've ever seen that before in NFL history. You won 13 games, but you got a negative plus minus. Now, they did beat the Giants earlier this year on a 63-yard walk-off field goal.
Thank you.
That ain't happening every week. So you're going with the Giants today, T-Sizzle?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Granddaddy said, you crazy as hell. Then you know how he said it. That girl crazy as hell. Girl crazy as hell. Really, Justin, what you missed was you started a war in the comments.
And to Mel's question,
let's put that back up.
You can't injuries play that's what I'm saying with the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are going to win because of they got some key injuries. When
there's no Darwin James, when there's no Mike Williams, when you're missing your all-pro left tackle, the second-year player, you're in a dubious position. Just look at the Titans. They couldn't overcome those injuries, plus bad coaching, plus mismanagement of player personnel. Let me digress. But yes, you look at the Miami game that we just talked about. There's no Tua. They're playing their third-string quarterback. With Tua, they played Buffalo down to the wire both games, blew an 8-point fourth-quarter lead in their rematch about a month ago. So with their third-string quarterback, they have no chance of beating the Buffalo Bills. So yes, it's going down. And Tasha agreed with you on this, although you're on different sides of the ledger, Justin. She says that Geno Smith, she called Geno Smith earlier this year. Now, I think Geno Smith was his fantasy quarterback, so take that for what it's worth. 49er Ray Ladd said, watch Bosa. I'm telling you.
You already know.
Sacks, he's going to get after Geno. We shall see. Now, Carl Tate jumped in and he said New York Giants defense was looking good against the Eagles. And that was their backups. What is it about the Minnesota Vikings that have them with a negative plus minus with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins.
You mean they going to change Kirk Cousins?
I ain't trusting no team that got Kirk Cousins in as the leader. I'm not doing it.
You would even take the Giants with Saquon Barkley and no wide receivers over Kirk Cousins at home in the
with Justin Jefferson doing his gritty and Mr. Dalvin running the ball. I do not trust Kirk Cousins, and I hope it burn in hell.
That's right. Consistency is what Tasha was talking about earlier when it comes to some of her concerns at the quarterback position for our own 49ers. So that will definitely be a factor today. Mr. I Want to Grill. Now, he's going to have all the grills he wants if he get that team to the Super Bowl. I doubt it, and I digress. Now, wait a minute. Sizzle is – I'm sick of you being right. I'm tired of it. I have an ego. I have pride. My mama watching too. But can I be right about – maybe I'll be right about this one. No, actually, Tasha, you were right about this one because we're about to get into Baltimore at Cincinnati. Now, this whole matchup doesn't come down to who's on the field. It comes down to who won't be on the field on Sunday night. I'm sorry. Yeah, on Sunday night. Sunday Night Football. That's one Mr. Lamar Jackson, who you said before the season even started, don't put your BA on that field without a new max deal. He went out and played anyway. He got his knee hurt. He's missed since December 4th. He's been out of action. He's not playing this week. He gave an update that said that he has a PCL sprain in his knee. That's a grade 2. Do you believe that? Is this about pain or is this about pockets, Tasha?
I mean, it could be an injury, which I do believe that he is injured.
Is he playoff injured, though? If he had his $250 million, would he play today?
G the Thud. Didn't he go out there with his knee was hanging on by a string, like by loose ends, and career is over? He's running up the stairs in the stadium to the booth now.
He is because he's doing quite well in his second career, actually.
Because he wanted, but see, come on now, old Lamar ain't got the gift of gab like RG3 does. And let's just put that out there. He don't have the gift of gab. That Florida comes out in him. But it's no way in hell I'm playing without no money. I don't care if my knee was patched up, was stitched up, was ready to go with a cast iron bone in it. I ain't playing.
And for anybody in the comments that disagrees, let your boss tell you ain't getting paid next week and tell me how many days you show up. Yeah, and I agree, Marcus. A grade 2 sprain won't keep you out of a playoff game.
Right.
He's like, nah, I'm going to sit this out. But Tasha, there's another side to this. As Mama tells you hello, there's another side to this, Tasha. Could this backfire on Lamar Jackson? Meaning, if Tyler Huntley or Mr. Anthony Brown goes out there and beats Cincinnati on the road today, is that going to hurt Lamar's pockets at the negotiating table?
No. The Cleveland Browns and Freak Nasty Watson put the kibosh on any quarterback coming up. They're the reason Lamar Jackson is in the situation he's in right now.
True. But if you're Baltimore, you know how it goes. When the streets raise the prices, if yesterday's price is not today's price, you got to sell at today's price or take a loss, right?
And they are that petty that I think they would let him go before they pay him that money. And I'm going to keep saying it's no way in hell Deshaun Watson, Freak Nasty, should have gotten that much money.
He was like a top 25 quarterback this year from the time he came back to the time they were eliminated from the playoffs. There was nothing.
I mean, and the reason why the Browns didn't play good, it wasn't because of the quarterback play. It was their defense started letting. That is
right. With David Clowney quitting on the team.
Yeah, and then taking shots, and then going to apologize later. Man, miss me with that.
Hold up, Tasha, but everybody in the comments is saying bye-bye Lamar. Like, he's out of there. Well, Lamar.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm Lamar, if they don't pay me, I'm gone. What Bernie Mac say? Them white told them the most beautiful words ever. F that, pay me. That's what he said.
Y'all, I had that mute button ready. You see me lean in with the mute button? I didn't know what she was about.
I've gotten better with my mouth.
You've gotten much better with the slippages. I appreciate that. He said Lamar would get the cash. Well, Lamar, if you plan on leaving, there's a town about 500 miles south of you. It's the capital of Tennessee. I mean, you know them well. You beat them in the playoffs, and they beat you in the playoffs. You got a stud running back. You're gonna have a rebuilt offensive line. We're gonna get a tackle with our 11th overall pick. You're gonna have a strong defense. You're gonna get to play with Clanger, Mr. Jeffrey Simmons, and you won't have to worry about us beating up on you. We could use a stud quarterback, and we got money to pay you once we cut Ryan Tannehill. I mean, what's up? What's up with the Titans? Y'all ain't with that. Right, well, okay, yes. No, this is a director at my job. He makes more money than me. That's just like America, huh? You just want some more, right? So, damn right. Come on to Tennessee. We got a crown waiting on you, future king.
But again, that goes to his also. Sometimes you need an agent.
Too hard for Tennessee to pick up. You really think that?
Right, now, it is.
Now, Falcons fan lives in Atlanta, says Atlanta needs a QB. Marcus Mariota didn't get it done. So it sounds like from the Goon Squad that Lamar could have options if he decides.
Lamar has plenty of options. He has plenty of options. But you got to make sure that offensive line is where it needs to be because he can throw, but he is a run first, I think. So he's going to have a line.
He will. AP coming in hot. And you won't have to worry about no drunk coaches, right? Titans fans are checking in today. I am loving it. Y'all, we're going to have a support focus group, a candlelight vigil.
But how you get off the plane and soon as you land, you on Broadway and you slizzard?
No. How come you can't afford an Uber? Don't they got a corporate card that they got the Uber account on? Now, he says we need an accurate passer. You got the wrong game. Tennessee doesn't fit him.
Tennessee's offense is not,
Justin.
I know I'm pulling it. Come on, Justin. Speak, baby. Speak. The Titans are not a good fit for him.
As we digress. Now,
see, every time you say something against them damn Titans, here you go digressing.
I'm trying not to make the show about Tennessee today.
In a hurry.
We're moving on in a hurry because the more I talk about the Titans, the more you diss them, and the more that stuff becomes prophetic. All right, you got a prophetic tongue, and you've rised up a standard against my Titans. And we got to rebuke you in the name of sweet Jesus, all 8 pounds, 5 ounce baby Jesus. All right. He can improve like Hurts. He sure can. I agree with you, Tasha T. Sizzle. Now, enough about me and my team being on the hot seat. We're about to put Stiana squarely on the hot seat. We're about to throw her in the air fryer and close the door. Because I got a question for you, Tasha. And America wants to know. The world wants to know. Right. Can we manifest in peace? Damn, Tasha. Crushing our dreams. All right. Natasha, here's your question. Top 2 answers are on the board. Who do you hate more? The Dallas Cowboys or Tom Brady? Because they square off on Monday Night Football for all the marbles. Who do you hate more? Let's just get it out the way.
Tom Brady.
I need you to back up so they can see your Bucky shirt, first of all. Shouts out to Bucky.
Shouts out to Stiana. Hey, Steve, I got my shirt. I'm wearing it in honor of Stiana.
Don't bury the lead, Stiana. Don't let her weasel out of this. She actually says she hates something more than the Dallas Cowboys, and I want her to repeat it.
Tom. 18 names Brady Jr. or the third or whatever he is.
Marcus said call it a draw. Now, Stiana said it's the Cowgirls. Why can't we be men? Why can't they be Cowboys? Don't do that. Don't do that. We them boys, as we stay gender neutral on this episode. Natasha, for the people who are just checking in and may not have followed you all season, why do you hate Tom Brady so much?
It all goes down to that AFC Championship game when it was the Raiders versus the Patriots, and he fumbled. They called that ish the tuck rule. He fumbled. They gave him enough time to clear the snow so Adam Vinatieri could line it up, kick the field goal to send them to the Super Bowl when it was supposed to have been Jerry Rice and Charles Woodson going to the Super Bowl for the Raiders that year.
Shouts out to Charles Woodson, who hangs on my wall each and every day and smiles down on us like the Lord himself.
Him ever since.
Now, Stiana says she hates the Cowboys because of us. Cowboys fans. Now, Justin says that Brady's worse. That Tom Lady is worse. He has a new nickname for you.
Thank you, Justin.
Cool. I don't like this.
Justin, you're my new best friend. Hi, Justin. Nice to meet you. Mucho gusto.
He's from Oklahoma. How about that? All right.
Oklahoma.
Now, Ray said, now he ain't never done nothing else, Tasha. Raise up off him.
I don't care. He did something to Jerry Rice, and he did something to Rolls in the mouth. Charles Woodson.
Hold on, check it. Y'all are on fire today in the comments. I love it. All right, so Tasha, let's get to it. Who wins on Monday night? Stop it, Marcus. Stop that right now.
I am going for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
With all that being said, you still going for Tampa Bay?
I don't.
Tampa Bay is going to beat the Cowboys. That ain't gonna happen. You know that, right?
Look.
Oh, here they go agreeing with you again. I can't catch a break on this show.
I would rather not see Tom Brady anymore after this season. And I would rather see, I'm always going to root for Clanger. I'm always going to root for Dak. I would rather see Dak win and do better. But right, that is true, but he got crap around him. Let's just put that out there. He's got crap around him.
Oh, you root for Dak? Where's Mike? I need him to hear this.
I want the Cowboys to win. But, that's it, Steve. I like the players. I would want the Cowboys to win, but I just think they're going to lose because they're them.
Now this is a Michigan moment. Damn it, we're not gonna have this Michigan slander for a Michigan who he really couldn't get.
Wait a minute.
I know, Tasha. Don't.
Hold on. Y'all didn't want to start claiming Tom Brady until he started winning Super Bowls. Nobody in Michigan remembers anything that he did when he was there.
That is true. Now, Miss Hastings said Brady, but he said Tom Geriatric Lady. This is your fault that they're disrespecting the GOAT.
He ain't the GOAT. He took that Super Bowl appearance
Yana says it's got to be the GOAT Brady. She calls him the GOAT. Here's Grandpa Langston, Uncle Langston jumping in. They ass is going to lose. Whose ass, Langston? The Cowboys or the Bucs? We know you're a Cowboys fan. Y'all, look, I'm calling it right now. Dak is going to go down to Tampa, down to St. Pete, and put them hands on the Buccaneers. You heard it here first.
Either way,
he's going to go do the same thing to Philly.
Either way it go, I'm good with either one. I don't care, to be honest. Because we all know it's about them gold-blooded. Hashtag.
It kind of is. I really can't say it's not. But a lot of people in Nashville are for Tampa because of Keyshawn Vaughn. Now, you know what? I will accept that. Now, Mama said, wait a minute. Dallas will be loaded for bear this go-round. Bet on it. My mama told you to put your check on it.
Your mama said, put your money where your mouth is. Come on,
put
mama.
Your check on it. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, AP.
Now, Langston is going against his Cowboys. Tasha, do you believe this, or is this some kind of reverse psychology?
Because the Cowboys have you chasing pipe dreams. Like you got there, you got your pipe, you got your crack rock in there, and you strike, and then your damn lighter don't work.
Oh, that's a crackhead's nightmare. We don't promote crack on this show. But just says he hope he loses and watch him break another tablet. Y'all, That sounds like this is a Cowboys affair. All this Brady hate is making me feel good, actually. Y'all
Man,
root for the
I know
boys.
one thing. When he was yelling at that line, oh no, it couldn't have been me. That would have been Tom Brady's last game because I would have jacked his ass up. I would have grabbed him right here by them shoulder. You know, they grab him right here by the pants.
Hey, you'd have did him like Gino got done in New York.
Yeah, I'd have shanked his ass down to the ground.
Dak is going to jail if he goes down laying hands on the elderly. They coming in hot today.
Said the elderly.
Stiana's not letting Langston off the hook. She says you can't be a real fan and say that. I agree. The Cowboys win this one going away, and we're gonna send Tom on out of Tampa the right way. Now, Tree says she's for Tampa, but definitely not a Papa. I mean, Brady fan, family ties. You got to go for your cousin, Martrice. I understand that. How is Gino about to get it done today? Let me answer your question for you, Ray Ladd. He's going to get it done with Kenneth Walker III, at least attempting 15 to 16 carries. Now, he's going to average like 2.5 yards per carry, but you're going to need to keep running him so that you can open up the play action pass to buy yourself some time because Joey Bosa is coming off that edge. Fred Warner is not to be trifled with, and the secondary can really match up man-to-man against your top receivers. We shall see. Now, this is a concern of your Cowboys fan, says Carl. Too many turnovers. Dak had 15 interceptions playing only 12 games. That is unacceptable. No, Mama done had 2 cups of coffee this morning. She says I would have slapped the Botox off his.
Who, Jerry Jones?
Oh. No, Tom Brady. You know, he did get that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He does look like the Joker.
We know when he started looking like this town needs an enema to fix his end.
As we digress. All right, Natasha. We've picked all the games for Wild Card Weekend. We got the people set for the Saturday and Sunday. But let's look forward. Let's project down the line, shall we? Who is your Super Bowl matchup now that we know the participants?
Oh, the 49ers, yay area, and the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, so she's got San Fran and Buffalo. I'm going to go with, Justin, are you ready for this? I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs getting it done against the San Francisco 49ers, with the Kansas City doing it to them again late in the fourth quarter and winning it all. You happy, Justin? Are you happy? Don't go back to work and tell nobody I picked your team, all right? He's fired up about that. So, look, if y'all two meet in the playoffs, we're going to bring Justin on for you to have a behind the enemy lines segment like we did with Marcus and TCU. Now, that didn't work so well for us last time. Now, Ray said, go ahead and say it. I'm sorry, Ray, I didn't want to do this, but the Cowboys, like Carl said, they turned it over too much to beat San Francisco, and you'd have to play them out in the Yay area. No, I'm not. I don't want no parts of that. And plus, I believe the San Francisco's physicality at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball is something that Dallas is never prepared for, and they don't like to punch back. That's one of those teams that I trust Seattle's physicality today more than I would the Cowboys in a couple of weeks. So that's that on that. So y'all think the Eagles have a chance to make it to the Super Bowl, Tasha?
Yeah. I think it's going to be 49ers and Eagles in the NFC Championship. But, of course, I'll never, ever bet against my team.
She ain't going to do that. But this time, you actually have a reason not to bet against your team because they stack like flapjacks. I'm going to just keep that real. All right. So you have San Francisco and Buffalo with San Francisco winning it all. I have Kansas City and San Francisco with Kansas City winning it all. Lord, if you have any more favor and mercy left in your spirit, please don't let Tasha's team win after all of the losses I've endured since 2023 started. We lost to TCU, and I still praise you. Please, Lord,
when the 49ers win that Super Bowl, Paul, I'm gonna take a red eye, fly to Dallas, run in front of your house, in front of your window, clad in 49er gear, run back to DFW Airport and fly my black ass right back home. I'm just gonna do it for one day.
And the thing is, there will be nothing I could do to say that because I would do the same thing if the Titans win a Super Bowl. But that's just a pipe dream with no lighter as we digress. The Sizzle, it's time for your top 5. Now, this week, We want to know the top 5 players in the playoffs that you have your eye on. Who are the top 5 playmakers that we should be watching this weekend?
I mean, we've mentioned them all. We got 2 7th rounders, one being like the 240 some odd pick,
Mr.
one being
Irrelevant? No more.
One being Mr. Irrelevant, and the other one being an undrafted free agent.
Oh, come on.
We got Mr. Skylar Thompson, who will be heading up the offense in Miami.
Right.
That's the one who was the 240 some odd pick. We got Mr. Brock Showis Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant. And then we got Anthony Brown, who was undrafted. All 3 of these quarterbacks are rookies. Are you listening to people? People, they are rookies. They have the weight of their franchises on their shoulders.
They do. And they have a chance to make their mark and maybe solidify a job or two.
Maybe. Maybe. Next, and this is me being petty. We're going to say the players to watch is the whole Minnesota Vikings team.
We watching you, Minnesota, with your 13-4 looking asses.
As Paul mentioned earlier, it took y'all a last-minute 61-yard field goal for y'all to beat the Giants on December 24th.
Right.
Y'all should
not. Name me a Giants wide receiver, Tasha, off the top of your head.
Only one I know is Sterling Shepard, and he hurt, and then he may be out the door next season anyway.
Exactly. He's out the door. So they're doing this with a ragtag bunch of people, and they really should have won that game. But go ahead.
Shouts out to my boy Anthony Blevins, who is one of the special teams coaches for the New York Giants. Last but not least, and I hate to do it to my clanger. Dak, you can't be out here throwing these interceptions. I don't care if it's a tipped interception, if it's hit somebody's chest and bounced off, it still goes to the quarterback as an interception.
Right.
That team relies on you. You can't keep putting all that on Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Ware in that defense. DeMarcus Ware, you knew who I meant. You can't be putting all that.
DeMarcus Lawrence, I got you.
You can't keep putting all of that pressure on your defense. And I say this goes back to Michigan teams. This goes back to even my 49ers. When you have these stellar defenses, you cannot keep putting all the pressure on the defense to win the games for you. Dak, you are
I just want to back you up with a stat on that. Anybody who watched the Titans in Jacksonville last week, the Titans defense played amazing. Who gave up the game-winning touchdown? The Tennessee's offense with a fumble that was returned for a touchdown. Wasted a stellar defensive performance. The game was in hand, but the offense lost the game, just to your point.
Yeah, so you can't keep depending on them to bail you out, Dak. Again, I know, and I was watching something at work on SportsCenter, one of the shows. They were talking about, these interceptions weren't his fault. It don't matter. It don't matter because any other time the interceptions go against the quarterback. So don't be trying to make excuses for Dak.
Plus, it works both ways. If you throw a 2-yard out and they run 80 yards, you still get an 80-yard touchdown on the record. So it goes both ways.
So yes, those are my. Let me look
Dak,
at my.
You better show up. You better show up, or Tuesday is going to be crucifixion day for you, bro.
I got Skylar Thompson, Brock Purdy, Anthony Brown. I got the Vikings, and I got old clanger himself, Dak Prescott.
I love that list. I want to add one more for you 49er fans that's watching today. Christian McCaffrey. Now, we broached this a little bit earlier that this is his first game in a national spotlight with this type of pressure, playoff pressure, because he spent all those years in Carolina where they were just a middling team around 500. If Christian McCaffrey is Carolina Christian McCaffrey, then I'm going to have to change my pick and pick the 49ers to win it all. If you cannot stop to go for the ball, how the heck in you're going to deep, and how you going to stop Debo? Start stopping Christian McCaffrey. If you don't stop him, nobody in the NFL has a shot at beating the 49ers. So he's definitely one of my keys to watch. Tasha, who you shouting out this week?
I have a special shout out, and I hope she's still on here, to all my family members who are members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, my cousin Marion, my aunt Mel, and all my friends, one Miss Jackie. I have, oh my God, so many friends that are Deltas. This is their, what do you call it?
Anniversary? The celebration of life. I wouldn't know Delta. I don't know.
But yes, and Mel's daughter, her legacy. Well, I can call her this. It's still Mo, but she don't like to be called.
Thank you,
Mo.
Martrice. She graduated with honors.
There you go, Trees. There you go, Trees. So shouts out to all of my friends and my family who are. But there you go, Mel. There you go, Mel. On their Founders Day for Delta Sigma Theta.
Hey, look what she said. We love you, Steve.
And again, shouts out to Steve.
Yes.
See, I got my shirt. I got it. I got it Wednesday. So yes, I'm wearing my shirt Stiana got for me.
Now, I want to send a shout out to our other co-host, our brother Michael Hasso. The baby Hasso is finally here. I will let him reveal her name because I don't think he revealed it yet. But she's 8 now. Oh, they did. Miss Rhea James. And so the lovely wife, Stacy, and Mike are doing fine. The baby should be home now, and they are resting. Don't pull her chain, Martrice.
He said it, Trees, not me.
It's okay. All right. So I want to send a shout out to the
inside joke that's an inside joke with Steve. She got the shirt when I put out that bat signal for someone to send me a shirt. And she said, it's been in my trunk since I bought it.
Hey, she's got 2 kids in inter-school athletics, and she's a teacher, so we'll give her a pass on that. I got a box in here that I got to mail her today that's been in here since October, and so I'm going to mail it today, ladies and gentlemen. And I also want to give a shout-out to the AP coaches of the world, to Tasha's mom, to Miss Hastings that's on the line, to the pre-generation that preceded our generation as we roll into Martin Luther King Jr. Day on Monday as it's celebrated. For all of y'all's hard work, sacrifices, sit-ins, dogs, being sick on you, the hoses, and how you all still found the courage and conviction to raise a knucklehead generation like ours with our
all that marching in them dress shoes, them hard bottoms. It wasn't no driving loafers. Them was hard shoes.
So I want to send a shout out to the civil rights generation who's still here. You brought us all the way from colored bathrooms to a black president, and we just want to say thank you for laying the foundation. Hopefully, the millennials and Gen Z continue to follow that, and that we continue to make progress. Shamika, Nicole, don't be hiding because we was picking the Cowboys game today. Great to have you on, looking beautiful as always. Stiana says, amen. So salute to all of those people. And Tasha, give us a score for San Francisco game today. Just to throw us on out.
I'm going to say 31-19.
All right. She's going very specific there with the 31-19. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got to get down to the post office before they close at 12. Tasha really killed me, and I won't be here next week. So we don't want to do that. She already said she can fly up here one day and get me touched because she know where I live. I'm very nervous. So I'm about to get on down and scurry on down to the post office and give her this box of kidneys that's been sitting in my freezer for 3 months. Until then,
they're not kidneys.
I was wondering if you was going to say that. We love you too, Shamika. We really do. All right. So you know how we do. We'll see y'all in 6 days and 23 hours to discuss the divisional round, and will Tasha still be having that Cheshire grin on her face next week? Stay tuned to find out. Until then, we'll holla.
Love you, baby Raya. Love you, Stacy.
Welcome to the world. Scurry on down to the pick and spin. Bye, y'all. Woo! They were on fire too.